Peace to your feet, we bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confused. From the streets to the world, get the real, no cap. Breaking headlines, put the truth on the map.
Yo, fast with the facts, we don't play no games. Reporting what's real, we ain't chasing fame. Call Peace TV, stay locked, stay tuned. If you want the real talk, we deliver it soon. Call Peace TV, we bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confused. From the
Hey y'all, hey, back with another video. This video is about Marquita Harris. Her aunt Marquita and her boyfriend Andre came out and spoke on Shank Rock's live. I want to shout out Shank Rock for the interview. I think it was a good interview. Not much was spoken about Naziah as far as like case wise and things like that, and possible things that was happening in the family. But there was a few things that I felt the need to that I wanted to go over and react to. So we're gonna jump into the videos that I have and go from there. It's a few things that I wanted to commentate on. So let's get into it.
I want to welcome my special guests to the panel. I have Marquita and I also have Dre. Now, in Marquita's own words, these are going to be her words as well as Dre's word. But before I welcome Marquita and Dre, I do want to clear up something. Dre never mentioned anything about Naziah going into the house. Dre only mentioned that Naziah had to cross over from, I believe, the old house to the new house. Am I correct, Dre?
That video where they basically showing that she getting off the bus, where she get off the bus at, and then you got that video of her walking past that house.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I don't know if she went home. All I know is she's walking towards home. Towards home. Keyword towards. She's walking towards home. She still has to go across a main street, so she could have went anywhere from there. But I'm just confirming it for people to know that she at least was walking that way towards home, because they had two houses on the block. So everybody's confused on what house, which way. So I'm just letting people know which way. If you know the area, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what he's speaking about, because I said in my video that I did about her getting off that bus, I said that footage looks weird to me, like they tampered with it to make it look like she was going one way, but actually she was going another way. Because I definitely said it looks like she was going to her house, but they stopped it, edited it to the point where it looks like she was going a different way. So let's keep going.
It's clear on that. All right. Marquita, how you doing, Marquita?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing good. It's a pleasure. I've been blessed to have you to join me on this panel to just tell us exactly who Marquita is. Who's the older, you or Shannon?
Me.
So you're the older out of the two?
Yes.
Tell us something about you that people don't know, or either people have wrong. I'm sure you've been following the content creators, and I'm sure you may have heard your name several times. Is it anything that you heard about you that you would like to clear up before we get started?
Yes, there is a lot, but I do want to state this first. No, I cannot discuss anything about the case. So there's going to be questions that's going to be asked. I will be directing them to saying no. I cannot answer anything in that type of nature. So let's just get that clear and off top. With everything going on in the beginning, let's just say no. I was not staying there at all when everything jumped off. I'm gonna just say that clear as day. No, I was not staying there. Me and Dre moved in together in the summer of June of 2023. That's that. That's one. Another one. When evangelist Kenneth Mitchell came on, and he had a whole mouth spiel to say, stating that I had my first child at 17. No, I did not. I had my first child at 18. No, it was not by a security guard. No, not at all. So let's clear that up as well. Bam. And the some of the other incidents of him bringing other people, what's his name, Darnell or Daryl, I don't even know who that person was.
See, that stood out to me when she said when everything jumped off, she was not living there. What you mean everything jumped off? So that makes me feel like she knew or knows what was happening over there at the house, and she knows possibly, even though she wasn't living there, things that was going on prior to Keziah coming up missing. But let's keep going.
Hood. What was your childhood like growing up as a child? If you can answer.
My childhood was great. Anything that we could think of as a kid that we had inside the house. Not every household was blessed with lavish things, but my household as a childhood was a childhood household. Was able to go outside, go down the street, hang out with friends. Doing normal childhood things. So nothing out of the norm.
Okay. Was you a problem child or was you an angel? What type of child was you?
I was never a problem child. I don't believe our kids are angels. You do have, you do have some kids do have a bitter side to them, whatever. So I'm right in the middle.
Now let's fast into adulthood. How many children do you have, if you don't mind answering that?
2.
Now, is it me or am I tripping that her voice changed when she said 2? And then watch how it picks back up to sounding like Marquita and the rest of this video, this next part that I'm about to finish playing. I'm not tripping. Y'all tell me.
2
children.
Sons, daughters.
I have 1 son, 1 daughter.
Okay.
And I just want to be able to clear that up because I can't remember who told me, but there was told that there was a third son somehow, an older son, and she's here to at least,
No, I wish people stop putting kids on my uterus. I only have 2 kids. I had my first child at 18.
Okay. What type of mother would I'm sorry, Dre. What is you and Dre's relationship? Are y'all together or are y'all just co-parenting or do y'all just live together? What's y'all relationship?
We're just friends. We just live together.
How did you feel when Dre came on the content creators platforms? How did you feel? Was you against it or was you like, I don't see that Dre has anything to hide, so go for it?
Even though I know that Dre doesn't have anything to hide, but at the end of the day, if you supposed to be my support system, my person, if I ain't open up my mouth, you ain't supposed to be open up your mouth at all. I felt like he went against the grain, and he did, because at the end of the day, if I'm quiet and if I'm trying to figure out what's going on too as well, and I don't know what's going on, we both figure out what's going on. You shouldn't even open up your mouth and say it anything. If you wanted to talk to somebody, go find a therapist. And that's respectfully coming from me. Like, no, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know we had our little differences, you know, and we wasn't talking, but at the end of the day, it's like, come on now. Come on. Come on now.
I wasn't getting no respect on any type of level.
At the end of the, and I want either, but at the end of the day, is you don't see me going on every social platform. I'm not, and then
well,
I don't
my
care.
Purpose of doing this,
and then I don't care, and then I don't care what people think or what people gonna say. But at the end of the day, it's a more of a respect and a more of a support type of thing. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, and
I would be doing the same thing.
No, listen, you are doing it. It was talking about me. If the shoe was on the other foot for him, I wouldn't be on every social platform and whatever. I'll wait till he make his first move, or he said, go ahead and do it if it's okay. Not one time. And since this whole thing has came about, has he asked me, how are you? How are you doing?
Because you
how
give,
are you
give off.
have you came in? How are you doing? How are you feeling? You know, not, you know, if you supposed to be my person, be my person. You worried about what the whole world think. Fuck what the world think. We live up under the same roof in the same house. I'm gonna keep saying, ain't no way in the hell I'm gonna go against the grain, against my nigga, my bitch, anybody if the shoe was on the other foot. And I'm gonna say that shit with my chest. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down about it. And I don't care what nobody feel or how they way to feel about it. Point blank, period.
Now, what I will say is I agree with Marquita 100% on this, because I was over in Miss Parker's live when he was over there. And shout out to Miss Parker for doing that interview. But I was in the comments and I was like, how is he doing interviews and he's still with her? Like, they still living in the same household and everything. Like, how does she feel about that? Like, this is like some backdoor type of ish. Like, why would you be doing interviews and still living in the house with her? Like, that didn't make sense. So I understand that 100%. If you're supposed to be my person, my guy, or any of this stuff, you shouldn't be going behind my back doing interviews or none of that. So yeah, I get where she's coming from, but let's keep going.
I understand where you're coming from.
Dre,
I understand.
Okay, because I was going to ask that. Do you see where she coming from, Dre?
I see where she coming from, but when you got twins at that coming to a house where I'm supposed to be feeling comfortable, making me feel uncomfortable, how am I supposed to feel? And I'm coming to y'all before I even go do anything else, and y'all giving me fuck you type shit.
Because the energy was already given fuck you from the beginning. Like, what you mean?
First of all, y'all beat around the bush when it comes to certain stuff. Y'all sit there, had these conversations. Your brother trying to shut me up with the stuff. For what? What am I saying that's gonna hurt anything?
You're not saying anything that the world didn't already heard.
So what's wrong?
Not, but you're not understanding. You're not getting where I'm coming from. It's the support, and that's where it lacks. If I supposed to be your girl, the woman, if I ain't said nothing, open up my mouth, but then my nigga, my man ain't supposed to say shit until I felt that I was ready, or let's go together. If we supposed to be a team or one up here, we together. But now it's like, I already got the world fighting against me. I shouldn't have my nigga fighting against me too. You fighting against me with the world instead of fighting with me.
It's not that I'm fighting against. It's not that I'm fighting against you, but right is right and wrong is wrong, and I'm going to go by that.
No. You have every right to feel how the way you feel, and that's where you go. And you only putting your feelings first. You're not thinking about nobody else. That's what You're not getting it, sweetheart. You're not.
Basically, what I got from it is that he was mad that they wouldn't tell him stuff, that they were keeping secrets. He felt left out of a situation. So he started going to different platforms to speak out and talk about stuff. He was getting online and looking at different videos and trying to piece up things together. Because that's what I said. And a lot of his interviews he did, it was like he was always saying how he's seen this and he's seen this video on somebody's platform, and now when I go back and think about it, maybe it could have been this, maybe it could have been that. So that's what it was. And when him and Marquita was into it, a lot of times that's what he was doing. I feel like to try to get back at her. But let's keep going.
Now, I know we can't, go into the Nazaria Harris case, and I'm going to do my best to stay away from it. But I just have maybe 2 or 3 questions surrounding Nazaria, and I just want to see if I could ask you these questions, Marquita. Nothing harsh. I just want to know, as a niece and aunt relationship, what was you and Nazaria's relationship like, if I may ask that?
My relationship with my niece, the one just an auntie and niece relationship, it was way more than that. It was a big sister. Like times like she called me sister. It wasn't auntie key, none of that. It was sissy. It was like when things had changed from them being adopted out with my mom and stuff like that. It went from being Nana to mama. So it's like the whole dynamic. When she used to get in trouble or the kids to pick on her, she calling me, they coming to get me. I'm taking the kids on bike rides and stuff like that. So, it's a hurtful situation. It's like, that's my baby. She was my first daughter. My first daughter, when my sister brought her home from the hospital, I stayed up with her the first day, the first night. I had her. I had her. Not her. Lady was in the next room sleep. I had her. That was my baby.
Now look, y'all know I'm off for right. And with hearing her speak about Nazaria right there, I believe her. Like, I believe she really did care for Nazaria, and you could hear it in her voice. A lot of times when she speaks about Nazaria through this, you can hear it in her voice that she really did love Nazaria and cared about Nazaria, but at the same time, she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's times in here where she's still not giving it up about her sister and things that was happening in that household. So it's like catch 22, like damn if I do, damn if I don't type of thing. But I really do feel like she really did care, because she don't come across talking about Nazaria in a harsh way like Shannon does. So let's keep going.
Where was you at when you first heard that she was missing or she didn't come home?
I was at home. Me and Drake staying together in our old home.
You gotta bear with me. I do get emotional. Is it anything that you can tell me about Jarvis as far as his character? Do you see Jarvis with hurting Nazaria, if I may ask that?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do you believe Jarvis would hurt Nazaria?
I don't believe that he would, but you never know. What somebody is capable of doing.
That's true.
To me, her saying that speaks volumes, because I said the same thing. Like, I don't think he's capable of doing that. But then again, you never know what a person will do. But for her to say that says a whole lot to me. Give me y'all thoughts on that part. What y'all think? Because I'm not going to give my thoughts on that part all the way fully, because I want to see what you guys think about that. But for her to say she don't think so, you got to listen to what people say and what they don't say at the same time. But let's keep going.
How did you feel when you found out that Shannon and Jarvis was a couple? Did you object to it? Did you try to discourage Shannon from dealing with Jarvis, or you just was like, that's my sister, she gonna do what she want to do? So
what do you mean by I was against it? Can you go in a little bit more detail about it? I mean, what you trying to ask?
Okay, now Jarvis has a record of inappropriate touching children. So when you found out, or let me just say, if you found out, well, I guess I can say when you found out, because I'm sure you found out. When you found out that Jarvis had that on his record, what was your words to Shane?
Be honest, I really don't think me and my sister really had that conversation for real, for real. I don't know. And that's being honest. I really don't think if we kind of had that conversation. If we did, I really don't remember. I don't think we even really ex- talked about the background or whatever the case may be. I know we just talked about, niggas be niggas, but not so much depth into it because I don't think we even talked about it. So I'm gonna just leave it at that because it's kind of foggy. I don't know.
Okay. Was you and Jarvis ever in a relationship? Any kind
Never.
of relationship?
No. What I can say is I did meet him first. Yes. We exchanged numbers. No, I never talked to Jarvis at that time. That's when I had my son. I was going to work first. No, never got a chance to talk to him or anything. So no. I
Why
didn't know
was
anything else. I
why
didn't know
was
anything else.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know anything about his background. We just exchanged first names and phone numbers. That was about it.
Why wasn't he your type?
Cause I wasn't my type is dark skinned guys. I never got into doing the light skin thing. It was me and Shannon, my twin sister thing. She liked it the light skin, I liked it the dark skin. So, I was okay. Let me try to see what the hype about for a light skinned guy, but I never dibble and dabble. So that's that.
Now, did Jarvis, because we know that Jarvis did some handiwork around the house with Miss Annette. Did he ever do any handiwork around your place? Maybe paint, maybe fix some things?
Why would I need Jarvis to come over and do anything and I got Dre to do anything and to do that right then and there?
How long you and Dre been together?
Me and Dre been talking since the end of 21. We've been together for 3 years.
I'm the best when it comes to the hands.
You the best, Dre? Nazaya's mother, Lady. How's your relationship with Lady?
Like I should say, as a kid, she was like, as growing up, she was like a big sister that you would want to be around. But then again, when you got older, you start to, have attitudes or get to know yourself. We always kind of bump heads, by her being a Capricorn or her being the older sister. And it was always, okay, well, I'm older. You can do I'm gonna make you do this. And then it was just like, no, it's something. Then it became, so of a love-hate type of relationship towards the end.
I'm going to ask it. It's referring to Nazaya, and you could just decline. First, let me ask, was it ever a 40-year-old autistic man that inappropriate touched Nazaya?
No. The guy was not 40. And I'm not for sure, and I can't say if this was going on or whatever the case may be. But the guy he is not 40, and I believe he is autistic.
I'm aware that Jarvis had the kids coming up, doing work up at the shop. Did he ever try to get you to come up and do any work at the shop?
Hell no. I ain't no man.
Her saying that shocked me because obviously you felt something was wrong with being up there at that shop for you to say it the way you just said it. But to send those kids, which she says in the next clip is that she never knew, like she was never around when the kids was going up there, because her mom and Shannon was watching the kids. So basically, whatever they had going, they were in charge of the kids. But clearly, if you don't want your kids up there, tell them not to let your kids go there. Those are your kids. If you don't want them at the shop, they shouldn't send them to that shop. So it leads me to believe she knew that that shop was a fucked up place to be. So why send the kids? But let's keep going.
How did you feel when the kids was going up there working?
If my Shannon and my mom, I said they was okay with it, because at times I'd be at work, so I really wouldn't know what's going on when I was there, staying there. If I'm at work, I can't tell what's going on at night. All I know is when I get ready and to leave out the door, the house is locked up, shut down, kids are in bed. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Now let me
Wait, because I don't think nobody else caught that. The fact that she says when she leave for work, the house is locked up, the kids is in bed. So do you mean to tell me they were sending these kids at nighttime to clean up over there? Because I was led to, I'm thinking it's during the daytime that they're being told to come over there and clean up and stuff. So are they going at nighttime to clean up at this shop? If so, that's really strange, and that's really a big red flag. But y'all, give me y'all comments on that and what y'all think. Cause baby, at nighttime, no ma'am. Let's keep going.
express to you that she felt like you ain't hold her down.
And
Explain. Go ahead.
I probably didn't hold her down. I can agree to that. But besides this situation, we do have our own regular relationship problems. I'm not going to really go into that. That's our business. But if anybody has been in a relationship and just had normal relationship problems, y'all should understand. Like we not agreeing on something, but we argue. No, I'm not beating on her. I'm not doing no outrageous, crazy shit. We have our moments. We don't fuck each other's shit up for real or nothing like that. Can you agree with that? Or and it's just we don't see eye to eye, but people explode. I can explode. I'm an Aries. I can do it, but I literally been working on myself for a long time. I'm way better than I used to be. I used to get mad and be mad, but now I'm mad and I just kind of go back to being calm and just collected. Like, look, we can just do this later.
Let me grab a question real quick. Miss Ray want to know, did you start speaking out because you is mad at Marquita?
No, I'm not mad at Marquita. I do have some issues on the situation, on what happened within our house. I do have issues, but I can't sit here and point the finger because I'm in the middle of a situation where I don't know what's the truth and what's a lie. So I can't really truly just be like, I can feel some type of way, tell her I believe Brooke, but like believe her daughter more than I can believe her. I've told her this before, but at the same time, I can't just knock her. She a grown woman. She's saying what she's saying. She's sticking to it. I'm not God, so I can't sit here and be like, well, you're actually lying, But I'm gonna speak my truth. But at the same time, I'm not about to dog her about hers because her truth can be truth. I'm not God to.
Marquita?
Yes, and let me clear that up. That's going around that's saying that my mom and her brother Eric Gamble got a son. No, my mom was married. That's why her last name is Harris and his last name is Gamble. I mean, people don't use their brains. When she get married, she didn't drop her last name. So it's Harris. Her maiden name is Gamble.
Do you think that the state of Michigan is handling Naziah's case in a proper manner? Would you say that when it comes to the evidence and all of that, do you believe that they're handling it properly?
No, I think they are I don't think I know, and I feel like they are moving. They taking their precious time because if she was another race and a different color, we would have been had some type of new news, new evidence, something by now.
Do you have a brother that's a police officer, Marquita?
I do.
Yeah, listen. I could have sworn it was a point when Shannon said that they didn't have a brother that was a police officer. And also, I know for a fact Janelle said that they didn't have a brother that was a police officer. But maybe I can't say she didn't know because she's a part of the family and that is Annette's sister. Janelle is Annette's sister. So I'm not sure why she said they didn't have a brother that was a police officer. But let's keep going.
Video.
I feel like her videos. No, not like I feel like. I know her videos are for monetized purposes because if this was so much of a loving, dearing cousin of yours, you wouldn't be going making stupid videos. You really wouldn't. This ain't done out of love. This done out of spite. She's being spiteful. Cause I love you. If you listening, ain't no love lost. It's just I just can't fuck with you. You being messy. Cause if you was really about putting boots to the ground, you'll be about putting boots to the ground and making these messy ass videos. Because we didn't sit down and we didn't have a heart to heart conversation and whatever not. But thinking after having a heart-to-heart conversation with her, thinking, shit might her thinking may change, her behavior may change, but it's still the same old shit, but to each his own.
Right. What was you and Roxy's relationship like growing up and go ahead, Marquis.
She really was. Well, go ahead, finish your
because I think you'll answer my next question with this question that you're about to ask. So that's why I was like, okay, go ahead.
She wasn't when I was a kid, she was more of a round lady because she's like close to lady age, my older sister's age and whatever. So it's like I was literal. So when she was with them, it's more of a bigger cousin, they always get, drinking, smoking and stuff like that. So we really didn't have a relationship like that until I got older enough. And it wasn't like so much of a relationship, but every time I seen her, it was like real love, always hugs, I'll call her, text her, hey, cuz, this, that, and the other. But then again, it's just like now shit didn't change, the whole shift, Like, if it was, don't get me wrong, I know she feels some type of way towards my mom and Shannon. But at the end of the day, that ain't, what's the beef with me? Why you ain't hit my line? When and that whole thing about me going to, getting arrested, my daughter putting on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, she didn't took it and ran with it and stuff like that. Instead of you reaching out and seeing, what's about, you going off, putting your own theory together, whatever the case may be, until I told her what it was. But why did I have to tell you? Why couldn't you just hit my line by you being the older cousin, the one trying to see what's going on? You the one that's putting boots to the ground, remember?
And cool. That's coming from someone in my chat.
It was sickening. It was like past sickening to the point where like I couldn't read all of it because it's just so sickening. Like I just had to stop, because I don't know what all what was said and stuff like that. Even now, like I can't really bring myself to listen to some of the videos because it's traumatizing and it's sickening. It's just like it's to the point where like I just want to throw every phone every time when I hear it. I just want to throw a phone because it's traumatizing.
I want to say shout out to Ms. Parker because in this next clip, she has some great questions. She asked Marquita. Also, she was the reason that this interview happened. Thanks to her, speaking with Dre and getting Marquita to come on and talk with Shank. So shout out to Miss Parker for that. But let's get into it.
This coming from Miss Parker. Who told you they saw Naziah at the liquor store?
The people in the area.
It seems to me, because it's like whenever I ask you a question about Jarvis, you ain't really cared too much for Jarvis.
No,
Go ahead.
no, I really didn't, because after all of the hurtful shit, that I seen him do, like basically he wasn't really there for the kids, like for real, for real. He'll pop in, bring the kids snacks and then leave, and then make the kids promises saying that he'd come back, and then don't, and then it's just, really made Shannon to be the single mother while he out here, living his best life.
Wow. Somebody, Naziah had her baby.
No. No. I was watching that video yesterday with that Mimi girl, or whatever the case may be. The comment back when she was said that she spoke to the landlord that got locked up 3 days after she got locked up. Me and that lady, me and the landlord, I love her. There is nothing nobody can say to make me to think any different about them. They family. I never told anybody that Naziah didn't had her baby. Never. So I don't know where she getting her information from. I don't know if it was for clout too as well, because I don't even know the Mimi girl or anything, and I still communicate with the landlord. Like, come on now, she ain't got no reason and to lie to me. I don't got no reason and to lie to her, and I've been knowing her way before this whole situation about my niece. Period.
I don't know, but when she said she didn't tell the landlord that Naziah had her baby, it's the way she said it, like she know that Naziah was literally pregnant during that time before she went missing, not like she just finding out now that she was pregnant. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
How did the men in the family feel about Jarvis, Marquita?
That's a good question.
To be honest, my oldest brother, the police officer, he really didn't ain't really know him like that. But I believe they had words. But I guess it's a God thing or whatever, not of a respect thing or whatever the case may be. Whatever he said, he rubbed my brother the wrong way, and it's just my oldest brother, ain't really care for him. My other brother, Chris, it was so at the beginning, just trying to fill him out, and then all this go about, yeah, he don't fuck with the nigga, so nobody really kind of really fuck with him for real, because he really he wasn't hanging around the family like that. I shall say he wasn't aware, like, we can let's come on to cookouts and stuff like that. It was more of he was coming over there, popping in for the kids, chips, juices, shit like that. Then, like, that paint shit. But other than that, that's that.
No, she could say that crap. I think it's because they all knew that he was a PDF file. That's what I think. The reason why nobody liked Jarvis, even the brothers, is because they knew that he was one of those. But she's trying to make it seem otherwise. But everybody in that family knew that what Jarvis was. That's just what I believe. Like everybody knew. But let's keep going.
Miss Annette fool with Jarvis, Marquita.
What you mean, fool?
As far
I
as
don't know. I'm sorry.
as far as did she like him? You know, was it you know, okay, if my daughter loves you, then okay, I accept you. How did Miss Annette feel about Jarvis from the beginning all the way up until the disappearance of Naziah?
My mama, her attitude towards him was, I should say, was kind of fair. You know, she didn't never get in between, you know, her kids' relationships and problems or anything. She was that type of parent. But of her liking or anything like that, she was fair. You know, she tried to be fair across the board up until this point of where her whole dynamic of her, you know, being fair with him is just changed totally.
After Kiwana called CPS, why didn't you stop your own daughter from being around Jarvis and possibly becoming a victim?
You said after Kiwana called CPS, why didn't I stop my daughter for being around Jarvis?
And possibly becoming a victim. That's coming from the chat. And possibly becoming a victim.
I never had my daughter around Jarvis. That she making the question is, let me get my word because I don't want to come off too strong for this question because it is a sensitive topic. I never personally really had my daughter around Jarvis. Just like, oh, come on, daughter, let's be around Jarvis. No, never. If I was more aware of certain things, yes, I would have done more. But if I don't know anything what's going on, how can I stop anything?
Let me just say this. I feel like if it comes down to it, Marquita will flip on Shannon and Annette. If it means having her kids in the process of being taken or for good. I know they're taken right now, but I don't know if it's temporary until the trial is over or whatever. But if she knows anything, I believe that she would flip on them just by her statement she just made. Basically, she throwing them under the bus that she didn't know that her kids was going to that shop like she's at work. So if she's leaving her kids with them, how could she know what they are doing? So yeah, I think she will. So let's keep going.
Ginger wants to know, why is the family okay with Art Gamble being around with his record?
I can only speak on certain things about my uncle, and then I'm gonna just leave it at that. As a kid, my uncle was no pedophile, no nothing. So my uncle was around the whole family. He was loved and will continue to be loved by the whole family. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Jarvis is the only person, would you believe that he's the only person that's involved with the disappearance and possible unaliving of Naziah?
And with all evidence points all to him, but who is to say that he didn't have help with anybody else?
Can you get into King? What are your thoughts on King? Do you think King had some involvement?
I don't know. I can't say. I don't know King.
Boom. The 11th episode is your cousin Sierra. How does that make you feel after hearing what she had to say?
Um, a lot of that, all of what she said that I can sure say was a most definitely tremendous lie. You know, to the point where down till she said that um her her facts and emotions came off of drinking and doing drugs. Your parents were alcoholics. I love my aunt and my uncle, but I seen the abusiveness in the household when I used to go over there and spend the night. I seen it, and I seen it. It's you couldn't tell like not one, maybe one kid out of their kids was gonna maybe be an alcoholic or a drug addict because I heard the stories. Her parents, my uncle and aunt used to do drugs. They used to. So I'm like, come on now. And then it was like they really never came around like after we got a certain age. My mom and her mom, they had a love-hate relationship to where they was always arguing and getting into each other to where they would go months without speaking to one another, to where we'll only be able to communicate with one another on the phone. I love my cousin, but after what she said, I can't fuck with her. I can't fuck with the lies, none of that. She can keep that shit to herself. Period.
Facebook that's saying, my mother said that's why we weren't allowed to come over to the house because they was always weird and touching kids inappropriately. Like it's several posts like that throughout. If you go through some of the community wall posts, are you made aware or you haven't seen those?
No, I haven't seen those. It's just like, it's just like all the stuff, all the stories that what's coming out now, if what I'm hearing, what people is saying is what stories I heard of what the older family members was doing to family members in the family. So it's like, what's tea? Like, what's tea? Like, I'm not really getting it. People want to say people hiding pedophiles, and I didn't know that we had pedophiles in the extended family. Clock and tea. So that's that.
Okay.
I can't talk about nobody else's trauma or whatever the case may be, but those are the stories that I heard of in the family. In the extended family, I shall say.
And the extended family would be Roxy and King and them. Correct.
Yeah, the rest of the family out there. Yes, the extended family.
The extended family. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So how do you feel about them? Like even when the case begun, they were saying that they knew Naziah would be next because it was another child that came up missing and some other things happened. So that went in. How do you feel about Mark D with the 40 years of CPS saying that all your siblings ran away? Like it was always a case of.
First of all, I don't know about no 40 years of CPS. I can't if it was CPS before I was born, I can't speak on something that I don't know. Period at all. But when I was born there and the time that I grew up in a household, there was no CPS cases at all. My mother had all her children and she had other people's children too as well that she was taking care of. Extended family members too as well.
Because the evangelist had made a comment and said that your mother had asked him to do some inappropriate things before. And I was like, wow. So that's why I always just feel like y'all have a right to defend your names in certain allegations and things like that. I am fair with you.
Evangelist Kenneth is a openly gay man. Openly. My mother, like, strictly dickly. Don't get me wrong, my mother would never, Never. And then for the type of person that my mother has took him up under her wing with his mother before she passed, asked my mother to take him up under her wing. Like, hell no. That nigga is sick in the motherfucking head to think that my mama would even ask him out of all peoples to do any dumbass shit. I say that in the most respectfully way.
So Marquita, where does the, we don't know y'all, we really don't. And we just on the outside looking in. Where does the allegations that your mother's husband with Lady, like this has been going on for decades, and this is coming from the extended family, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, if things happened way before I was born, I can't speak on anything before then.
Okay.
When I was born, everything was a normal household. I'm gonna keep it at that. And that's always been like that. We had a normal household. I never heard of my sister being molested or anything like that, or 40-year CPS case or anything. So I can't speak on something I don't know.
Okay.
Now, I feel like she lied right there when it comes to Lady, because if you heard about extended family members' trauma and them being touched and stuff like that, how is it that you didn't hear about Lady's trauma and her being touched by her Annette's husband? Like, that's why I be saying, like, she don't wanna throw Annette and Shannon under the bus at times when it comes to them, but it's certain stuff that she'll answer and wouldn't answer. And that right there is, for example, what I was saying. But yeah, she knows.
Do you feel like Naziah is no longer with us?
With all the evidence pointing, yeah. But do I believe in my heart? I'm hopeful that she's still alive. Hopeful, I can say that. But with all evidence pointing, she may not be. My baby may not be here.
It almost made me cry.
Okay, so y'all, so the rest of this video I'm gonna let play out because they're gonna be talking about when Mark D and Roxy came into the house. Also, I think I got some parts of them talking about their relationship together, Marquita and Dre. Otherwise, if it's something that I need to speak about, I'll jump back in. But from here, I'm gonna let it play out.
The podcast, them coming into the house, and like that shit was an ambush.
Yeah. I tried my hardest to explain to her what happened. I feel like she believes me because I have no reason to lie.
In the beginning, no, I did not.
Yeah, at the beginning, you didn't believe me.
I did not believe him. I felt like it was. This is why I feel like in the beginning it was most definitely a setup, because I walked in the house, me and my twin sister and the kid and my son. We walked in the house. You make a phone call, and you be like, my auntie coming. Okay, I think it's your auntie. 10 minutes later, it's Mark D and the crew. Like, come on.
No, my auntie already been there.
I said, no, when we got there, your auntie wasn't there. She had just left.
And I explained to you at that time, it was just my auntie coming. And while she was there, she having this conversation about Mark D.
Yes, listen to what I was saying. When we got there, your auntie wasn't there. She had just left.
And I explained to you at that time, it was just my auntie coming. And while she was there, she having this conversation about Mark D.
Yes, listen to what I was saying. When we walked in, it was just you. And then when she walked in, 10 minutes later, Mark D and them walked in. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's why I said it felt like it was a whole ambush, because he made that phone call like, yeah, you on your way? Y'all still coming? They just got back. So it felt like it was a setup.
And that must have been the only thing you heard, because I was telling them like, I don't think y'all should come because they here. And then they was taking so long, so I might have said, y'all on your way because they here. You know, telling them basically like, you know, at first it was y'all wasn't here. We were supposed to chill. Like I said, I went to church and then came back home, and then my auntie came over, left, went and got weed and shit, and then came back, and then that's when, matter of fact, y'all came back in the midst of her coming back from getting whatever she was getting. We was, though, y'all went in the back, and our argument completely stopped. You know,
it would have been an okay night for if his
and I told my auntie at first everything was good.
If his no, if Mark D ain't follow you to the back first.
Yeah, but I didn't ask him to follow me to the back.
He followed you to the back, but then again, what really made it kind of worse was when your auntie, I felt like at this time his auntie set the whole play up.
Yeah.
It was she played him, just tried to just so she can capture a little 20 seconds of fame or whatever the case may be, because I seen the whole play played out in front of me. You know, we coming out, she set her phone up and she get to talking shit, blase spleet, taking off her jacket and shit. You know, we arguing and shit like that. One thing you not about to do, you not about to be disrespecting me and then think I'm not going to get disrespectful back. Now, I ain't going to put my hands on you, but I will be disrespectful. If I got to, I will, but I ain't trying to get like, you know, but like I said, the whole play was a setup. We felt ambush, you know, the whole thing. And I told Dre when he said, you know, when he talked to his auntie, you know, I said, okay, but at the beginning I said, Dre, you can't tell me shit because you invited these people over here. You know, you didn't know.
I invited my auntie,
you know,
and then
the whole thing about the gun situation, him walking up the stairs with the gun or whatever the case may be. I didn't know that until we seen video and stuff like that. I said, see, this is the shit that you caused. You know, you allow another man to, you know, and to bring a gun into our home, and we don't even have a gun. You walking into a partner in a house that don't even have weapons.
And first of all, I explained this to you. Anybody should understand. If you're getting flashed in the face by a flashlight, you don't see nothing. I don't need to say more. You see him, he's videotaping everything. That video camera that he's holding in his hand had a light on. It was blinding the shit out of me. I couldn't see anything. All I know is this is Mark D, so I'm thinking we're good. This is a man that's being known. So that's like me looking at you, Shank, and be like, well, I invited him over. I'm not thinking you're going to come over here with a gun.
I see. Let me just ask this question. It's from the chat. Is baby Naziah baby?
No.
Why do you think it's only one count of unalive instead of two?
That I don't know. Gotta ask the prosecutor. Gotta ask the lawyers and the judges. Because I believe it should be more than just one. If my niece, you know, if they say that she was pregnant, yeah, I believe that it should be two.
What I see, appreciate that I see through you wants to know if you feel if she can break the curse of your family.
Who?
Marquita want to know, do you feel like you could break the curse of your family?
You said
So a person named Marquita want to know if Marquita?
No, the person in the chat is asking Marquita if she feels she can break the curse of the family.
What curse, babe? I don't believe in superstitious or anything like that. Break this tragic shit that's going on. I hope so. Deep down inside, hell yeah, I hope so. But if I don't know what's going on for real to break. I'm like everybody else. I'm watching and listening to it and seeing what's going on.
Well, Marquita and Dre, I would love for you all to come back. I don't want y'all to, put y'all personal, y'all,
I get
but
that. I told her that before already. That you
I
gonna
really,
get a handful of people that's
I
gonna
really
hate.
don't care what the world think
Yeah,
at all, because I have nothing, no guilty conscience, nothing on my conscience at all, and I can say that with my chest out, head up, head out. So, but at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, everybody is taking the insight off my niece at all. It is about her. Everybody putting this, that, there, and the other, bringing everybody and their mom and daddy into it, and whatever the case may be, but taking off the insight of her. Where is my niece? Where is she at? We all want to know. Bring if she is no longer here with us, let her body pop up so we can properly lay her to rest. Give her the proper burial that she needs, and we all can grieve the way that we want to. And that I hate that this whole world is so fucked up and corrupt and think that everybody gotta grieve and show some type of emotion right then and there. Like, how the hell that you don't know that I ain't never show or cry over my niece? Just because you don't see it, you can only assume. But when you assume, you make an ass out of you, not me, because that's my baby. My baby.
And going off of what you said, it made me think like, yeah, the world is a little bit scary when it comes to just judging. I just realized like
everybody
how much people would sit there and be like, they could think somebody is dumb. Because I heard people say that about me. Like, I'm not dumb, but I know I'm not the smartest person in the motherfucking world. But you can't fool me. You feel me? Like, I ain't dumb. But when people say stuff, they just be hearing. You don't know me. I'm this type of person. When I'm frustrated, I can't think too well. Like, it's just my brain just everywhere. And there's other people out there like that. And for the people that's not like that, of course y'all gonna have something negative to say because I'm like that. But whatever, I don't care. I don't even want to say fuck you because whatever.
And then I already know by the end of the night, somebody gonna take this video and knowing this is my truth coming out from the horse's mouth. Somebody gonna take this video and twist it up words and said she said this and she said that, or this, that, there, and the other. It's gonna be damn. She just now coming forward. She should have been came forward a long time ago. I don't gotta come forward or talk on nobody's time but mine. I don't owe nobody an explanation at all.
And to tell you the truth, she only did it because I asked her.
And really, I really didn't want to do it. I really didn't give a damn about coming on the dang gone show.
That's true. That's true.
Because at the end of the day, they're gonna say, yeah, she just not saying something. Why she ain't say something in the beginning? So, and
I already know it's coming. Oh, the only reason why she came on it, clout chasing. Like you said, oh, why she wait this long? It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's be like, oh, she wanna come in. Like, I've been quiet all this time. After today, I'm going back into what y'all say my hiding. I'm hiding. I be out in the public every day.
Me too.
I be in the salon with some of you ugly bitches.
You ain't gonna go that far.
And let me just some about camming up, turning the camera on. Marquita was like, okay. But Dre, was like, he's
I just
not
hate the camera, bro. Ain't nothing like that.
Yeah.
Right.
This is plain.
Because let me just say this. People gonna say, well, why Marquita? Why she ain't cam up? Why she ain't turn? She wanted to cam up. She was like, okay, we can turn the camera on, but Dre is not.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not looking horrible right now. Marquita's not looking horrible right now, but we just moved and stuff still coming in. So the house look junky and y'all too judgmental. Everything new though, but I'm unwrapping things, putting things together and shit. So y'all still judgmental as fuck. So I don't feel like going through that shit. You already went through the last house and I already knew that we really ain't had shit there because as a real man, I was paying my bills and was getting garnished and still taking care of my bills by myself for real. So that's one reason why I couldn't spend extra money on extra things. We took care of business first, and our time would come.
Let me just say this before I let y'all go. Everybody in my chat, the replay gang, I know y'all ain't gonna thank them for coming, but everybody in the chat, y'all gotta thank Dre and Marquita for pulling up, because this Marquita first time. She ain't had to.
I will say, Marquita is a little more calmer than Shannon is. I feel like she did okay in this interview, even though we didn't get a lot of more details on anything. Really, it's just regurgitation of what has been put out and stuff like that. But overall, I think she held it pretty well. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I am out. Bye.
We bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confuse. From the streets to the world, keep it real, no cap. You're breaking headlines, put the truth on the map. Call it peace. We bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confuse.